Hi there. I'm Curtis, and I'm here to tell you about The Game, which is a type of event I've been playing in since 1996 and helping to organize since 2001. The Game is a weekend-long driving puzzle hunt. You can read about it on Wikipedia. Different people will call it different things. They call it a treasure hunt. I like to describe it as a puzzle adventure. The basic format is you go from location to location, solving puzzles that tell you where to go next. Now, when I say puzzle, you probably think of things like these: crosswords, sudokus, cryptograms. These are things you might see in newspapers, in magazines, and books. These are very traditional forms, and people are familiar with them. In the game, the puzzles can be a little more complicated, a little more interesting. This is a puzzle from the Mega Hard game, which ran in 2000. And I'm going to show you what's inside the envelope in a minute, but the point I want to make here, there are 2 points. One is that puzzles can be anything at all. And two, they don't come with instructions. But you can use the same methods you use to solve traditional puzzles on the game puzzles, which are called clues. And those methods, there are 3 of them I'm going to talk about: looking for patterns, using codes, and back solving, or reverse engineering. Now, in Sudoku, there's one very specific pattern. In the game, you may need to use more esoteric things like the Fibonacci sequence, or powers of 2, or prime numbers, and recognize them when they appear. The second thing is codes, which is basically transforming one kind of information into another. In a crossword puzzle, you're taking the hint phrase and turning it into a keyword. In the game, you generally want things that turn into letters, which are going to spell out a message, which tell you where to go. The last thing is back solving, which is knowing what you're looking for, or what you're expecting to get out of the solution. Now, usually it's going to be an English word or a message, but it might be something different, like a phone number you have to call, or GPS coordinates, or a riddle. So let's look inside this. I'm going to walk through this real quick. And we open up this envelope, and inside are postage stamps. Kind of makes sense, sort of thematic. But what do you do with a big pile of postage stamps? There's no instructions, as I said. And this is a perfectly normal reaction. Most teams, they'll get a clue and sit around for the first few minutes saying, well, what do we do with this? So let's break this down and see exactly what pieces we have here to work with. And it turns out we have here 44 stamps in 16 different denominations, from ½ cent up to 29 cents, and they're all canceled with a postmark. So let's start by grouping them by denominations, by the cent value. And one thing we notice is that no group has any more than 4 stamps in it. Now, the next thing, if you look at the designs, every design tells you what year the stamp was issued in. It's either an anniversary of something, or commemorative, or an Olympics, so we can order the stamps within each group. Now, some of them don't have years, but that's actually not going to matter, as we'll see in just a few seconds. So this is just the last few groups, and let's take a closer look at those top 2 rows, the 15 and 20 cent stamps. Now, they've been ordered, so we've used some of the information already. So what's left? Well, we got the postmarks. And there are 2 different kinds of postmarks here. There's the circular ones, and then the wavy lines. So we have circles and lines. Dots and dashes, Morse code. And in this case, that turns into 2 R's. Now, can we do this with all the stamps? As I said, they're all canceled with a postmark. And if we applied this decoding method, we end up with letters. And as I said, the dates on that S didn't matter because they're all dots. They could be in any order. And here's where we apply a little bit of back solving to interpret those last few letters as abbreviations. But you'll see that clearly spells out Old Danville Railroad Station, which is the next location we're going to go to get the next clue. Now, there are anywhere from 20 to 30 of these or more in a game. They last all weekend, like I said. And the game is only one kind of puzzle hunt. There are lots of different types, depending on what you like. Some are more focused on the puzzly aspect, so they can be purely online, like alternate reality games. Some are more physical, so they're more like a foot race. And I just want to mention one specific other event called the Dash, which was a collaboration between 8 different cities, including Portland. We found some great locations downtown and ran this in September. And you can see all the puzzles on the website. And we're going to do this again in April. And I'm hoping to see some of you out there either playing or even helping out. And you can find out more at the website. And if you solve these slides, go on Twitter @TeamSnout. Thank you.